All right, so you're a customer success manager and you're thinking about making that jump into product management. You've given us a ton of resources to go through articles, books, even some insider tips. It's quite the reading list. So
It is.
we're going to try to break it down into some of the most valuable insights for you in this deep dive.
Yeah, and I think what's so interesting about this transition is that you're not really starting from scratch. Your background in customer success gives you such a strong foundation for this role. Understanding user needs, advocating for solutions, navigating all those complex customer relationships.
Yeah, it's like you've been in like a PM boot camp without even realizing it. But let's break it down. Like, what are the core responsibilities of a product manager? It's a lot more than just coming up with cool features, right?
Absolutely. And cracking the PM career, I think, really emphasizes this well. It's about outcomes over output. It's driving product success, not just churning out features. And think about it this way. As a CSM, you've been on the front lines dealing with user feedback, identifying pain points, advocating for improvements.
So you're already a champion for the user. But how does that translate into the strategic thinking that's needed for product management? I know productmanagement.pdf really hammered that point home.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think that's where your experience becomes your secret weapon. So if we think about the adjacent user concept from cracking the PM career, you've probably seen this, where you have customers that are only using a fraction of a product's features. They're kind of on the verge of becoming power users, but they haven't quite crossed that threshold.
Oh, yeah, I see that all the time, and we try to nudge them along. But sometimes those extra features just aren't clicking for them.
Exactly. And that's where a PM can step in. Your insights as a CSM can be invaluable in identifying those adjacent users and understanding their needs. It's about anticipating what those needs are and building features that will make them fully engaged users, which ultimately drives product growth.
Oh, that's such a good example of how those CSM skills can be applied strategically.
Hmm.
Now, cracking the PM career also talks about this product triad. Can you kind of unpack that for us a little bit?
Yeah, so the product triad is this fundamental concept in product management where you have the product manager, the engineering team, and the design team all working together. You can think of the PM almost as a conductor, bringing all these different perspectives together to create this harmonious symphony.
That sounds like a lot of potential for clashes, though.
Yeah.
How does a PM, especially one coming from a CSM background, how do they navigate all those different personalities and priorities?
Yeah, I think that's where leadership skills really come into play, especially the ability to influence without direct authority, because
Mhm.
you're not managing in the traditional sense. It's about building consensus, guiding everyone towards that shared vision, and really understanding the intricacies of each team's workflow.
So you're not just juggling user needs, you're also juggling all these internal dynamics. That's a delicate balancing act.
It is, but I think productmanagement.pdf had some great advice around this. Things like shadowing product managers, actively participating in product discussions, even mentoring junior colleagues. These are all ways that you can start to hone those strategic thinking skills and understand the nuances of the PM role.
This is kind of like immersing yourself in that world and learning from the folks who are already in the trenches.
Exactly. And, remember your experience in customer success has already equipped you with valuable skills, in communication, problem solving, understanding user behavior.
Okay, so we've established that your background provides a solid foundation. But let's be real. Switching careers, it can feel like you're navigating a product roadmap with a few too many dependencies and unexpected roadblocks. Where do you even begin?
I think that's where a strategic approach, much like developing a product roadmap, is so crucial. It all starts with networking, connecting with product managers, attending industry events, engaging in online communities. That can open so many doors and provide invaluable insights.
So it's not just about applying for jobs. It's about building those relationships and immersing yourself in that community.
Absolutely. And those coffee chats that Cracking the PM Career mentions with PMs? Turn those into mini interviews. Ask them about their product strategy, their challenges, what they look for in potential team members.
That's so smart. It's like customer discovery, but for your career.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of mentorship either. Find someone who has successfully transitioned from customer success to product management and learn from their journey. Their insights can be invaluable.
So it's like having a personal product roadmap for your career transition.
And of course, tailoring your resume to highlight those transferable skills is key. Focus on your experience in understanding user needs, advocating for solutions, collaborating across teams.
Yeah, show off those CSM superpowers.
Exactly. It's all about demonstrating how your experience and passion align with the demands of a product management role.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that really stood out to me in the Designer's Guide to Product Vision. It's not just about building products. It's about having a vision for where those products are headed and why they matter. That's pretty profound.
It really is the heart of product leadership. And think about it this way. As a CSM, you've seen firsthand how a product can impact users' lives. You understand their motivations, their frustrations, their aspirations.
So you're bringing that deep user understanding to the table.
Yeah.
But how do you translate that into like a compelling product vision? It sounds kind of abstract.
Yeah, and the designer's guide to product vision uses this great analogy. Think of a product as a ship. You need a skilled captain to steer it, but you also need a clear destination and a compelling reason for the journey.
So the product vision is like the compass guiding the ship. But how do you develop that vision?
It's a combination of understanding the user, analyzing market trends, and aligning with the company's overall goals.
So it's not just about dreaming up cool features. It's about understanding that bigger picture and where this product fits within it.
Exactly. And your CSM experience is such a huge asset here. You've spent countless hours interacting with users, understanding their pain points, witnessing the impact of the product firsthand. That deep understanding of the user journey is so valuable when crafting a compelling product vision.
Yeah, it's like you're bringing that voice of the customer into the product development process.
Precisely. And that can make all the difference. There's this great anecdote in the book about a mega company's dinosaur product, one that was totally outdated and on the verge of extinction. But by developing a strong product vision, they were able to completely revitalize it.
Wait, they put a dinosaur back to life? That's incredible.
It is a testament to the power of vision. When you can articulate a clear and compelling path forward, you can rally teams, inspire innovation, and even breathe new life into those seemingly stagnant products.
That's so inspiring. It shows that even in like really established companies, a fresh perspective and a strong vision can make such a difference.
Absolutely. And that's something you can bring to the table as a product manager. That user-centric perspective grounded in real-world experiences and driven by a desire to create a meaningful impact.
Speaking of user centricity, product management. Essentials really emphasized its importance. And it seems like a core principle that bridges both customer success and product management.
Absolutely. User centricity is about putting the user at the heart of every decision. It's understanding their needs, motivations, and pain points, and using that knowledge to create products that truly solve their problems.
Okay, but how do you translate that into action? Like, what does a user-centric approach look like in practice?
Well, it all starts with user research. Conducting interviews, testing prototypes, analyzing data, these are all ways to gain a deep understanding of the user experience.
And this is another area where your customer success skills can really shine, right?
Yeah.
You're already a pro at gathering feedback and understanding user behavior.
Exactly. And as a PM, you can leverage this expertise to champion a user-centric approach throughout the product development cycle. It's about being that voice for the user, ensuring that their needs are at the forefront of every decision.
So you're kind of transitioning from advocate to architect, using your deep knowledge of the user to shape the product's future.
That's a great way to put it. It's about channeling your passion for the user into a role where you can directly impact their experience.
This has been such a great deep dive so far. We've covered so much ground, from understanding the role of a product manager to those essential strategic skills, the power of product vision, and the importance of user centricity. It feels like we barely scratched the surface, but this is already giving me a much clearer picture of what this career transition could look like.
Yeah, it's really amazing how interconnected these concepts are and how your background in customer success provides such a solid foundation for this transition.
And for you listening right now, feeling that spark of interest in product management, don't let it fade. We'll be back in just a moment to uncover even more insights and explore this fascinating concept of modularity. Don't go anywhere.
And you know, it's funny, we haven't even talked about modularity. And this is something that the Handbook of New Product Development Management really digs into. And it's something that I think is going to be so important for aspiring product managers to wrap their heads around.
Okay, you've piqued my curiosity. Break down modularity for me. What's the big deal?
Think of it like Legos. You can create a whole world of structures using the same basic building blocks, right? Modularity in product development is kind of similar. It's about designing products with interchangeable components or features.
So instead of like building this monolithic product, you're creating like a system of interconnected pieces.
Yeah. Exactly. And this has huge implications for managing complexity and responding to, ever-changing market needs. With a modular approach, you can adapt products more quickly, add or remove features based on user feedback, even create entirely new product variations without having to start from scratch.
I can see how that would be a game changer. But how does that impact like a product manager's role specifically?
So imagine you're a PM for a music streaming app. With a modular design, you could easily swap out components like the recommendation algorithm, the user interface, even the payment system to adapt to different markets or user preferences.
So it's like having this toolbox of product features that you can mix and match to create the perfect user experience.
Exactly. It gives you so much flexibility and agility in responding to user feedback and market trends. And from a development standpoint, it can streamline the process significantly.
This is fascinating stuff. So
Yeah.
for our listener who's making that leap from customer success to product management, understanding modularity, that could be a real advantage for them.
Absolutely. It shows a forward-thinking approach and an understanding of how to build products that are adaptable and scalable.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Product Management Essentials talked about the evolving landscape of market research. It seems like the way we gather and interpret data is changing so rapidly.
It really is. It's no longer enough to just send out surveys or conduct focus groups. You need to observe user behavior, analyze their actions, uncover those unspoken needs and desires. It's like being a detective, piecing together clues to understand what users truly want.
So instead of just like asking users what they want, you're actually observing what they do. That seems like a much more reliable approach.
It is. And tools like A/B testing, user analytics, even social media listening become so essential for product managers. It's about gathering data from multiple sources, triangulating those insights, and then using that knowledge to inform your product decisions.
With all this data flying around, though, how do you avoid drowning in information overload?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's about developing a discerning eye, learning to filter out the noise and focus on the signals that truly matter. Ask yourself, what are the key metrics that align with my product vision? Which data points provide actionable insights? It's not just about being data-driven, it's about being data-informed.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like having a map and a compass to navigate through that sea of data. You need both tools to find your way.
Precisely. And remember, data should never replace your intuition or your empathy for the user. It's a powerful tool, but it needs to be wielded wisely.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've explored the core responsibilities of a product manager, talked about how those customer success skills can be leveraged for this role. Even delves into, more advanced concepts like modularity and this evolving world of market research. Is there anything else that our aspiring product manager should keep in mind as they embark on this exciting journey?
You know, I think the biggest thing to remember is that the world of product management is constantly evolving. So staying curious, embracing continuous learning, and building a strong network of mentors and peers are absolutely essential for success.
And for you, our listener, remember that your experience in customer success has given you such a valuable head start. You understand users, you're passionate about solving their problems, and you're already a champion for their needs.
Channel that passion, embrace the challenge, and never stop learning. You have the potential to become an exceptional product leader.
It's amazing how much we've uncovered in this deep dive about transitioning from customer success to product management.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how your background in customer success sets you up so well for this.
Absolutely, we've covered everything from strategic thinking and the power of product vision to navigating that product triad and even diving into modularity in product development.
And of course, all those practical steps like networking, mentorship, and really tailoring your resume to highlight those transferable skills.
You've given our listener a lot to think about. But before we wrap up, I wanted to touch on something that kept coming up in our sources, this idea of continuous learning in the world of product management.
Yeah, what's interesting is that product management isn't really a destination, it's a journey.
Yeah, it's like you're constantly leveling up your skills and knowledge as the landscape shifts.
Exactly. Technology is always evolving, user expectations are changing, and new methodologies are popping up all the time. A successful product manager is someone who embraces that constant change and actively seeks out ways to grow.
So it's not enough to just land that PM role. You've got to keep pushing yourself and expanding your horizons.
Absolutely. And cracking the PM career talks about this a lot. Staying on top of industry trends, going to conferences, reading books and articles, even taking online courses.
Yeah, it's all about being a lifelong learner, always looking for fresh perspectives and honing your craft.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of connecting with other product managers too, both online and in person.
I can imagine those peer networks are so valuable for bouncing ideas off each other, troubleshooting problems, and just staying inspired.
Exactly. It's like having this amazing support system of people who are all going through the same exciting and sometimes unpredictable journey.
Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive, and I feel so energized by all these insights.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
And to you, our listener, we hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and the motivation to make that leap into product management. Remember, your experience in customer success is a huge advantage. Embrace your passion, use your skills, and never stop learning.
Absolutely. The world of product management is waiting for you. Go create amazing products.
And that's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a fascinating topic. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.